All right, everybody, welcome back to another episode of Word with Ty Brownlow. I am your host, Ty Brownlow, and remember, no one is worthless. No story is worthless. And today, ladies and gentlemen, I got a very special guest for you. Give you a couple of words about my guest. Creative, inquisitive, true, entrepreneur, all the way from Dallas, Texas. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for Prince Chijioke. How are you, sir? All right. That's what's up. I want to talk about something that you've done. As I said before, one of the words I use to describe you is creative. You've come up with a new game called Never Say Never. Can you tell us a little bit more about this, please?
Sure. I'll just flash it up real quick.
Okay.
Yeah. So never say never.
Go ahead and keep it up there.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So never say never. The hilarious game of Horrible Hypotheticals. The whole idea behind this game is to take a bunch of crazy, wild, dangerous, funny scenarios and pose them to your friends to see who would never do them and to see who would actually do them. So the idea is that if you can play cards that no one would do, then you get a point. But if people would do them, then they have to have the funniest, the wittiest answer to why they would do some of those scenarios.
Oh, okay. So basically, based off your response, if I feel it's witty enough, then you get the point, correct?
Right. So if I play a card and one person or a couple people say they would do it, then it's kind of like they have to prove to me who has the best reason why they would do it. But of course, like if you know your friends, you know some of them might be lying. So it gets interesting because as the game goes on, people start to really want the points. So they start coming up with all kinds of crazy reasons why they would do some of these things.
Okay, all right. So about how many players at a time can actually play this game?
Yeah, so I'm advertising it for 2 to 20. If you're at the lower end, then it tends to be kind of like a just get to know you kind of deal.
Yeah.
At the higher end, you can bring it to your kickbacks and just get people laughing and talking, especially if there's, drinks involved, that kind of thing.
Okay, all right. Well, you know what? I'm pretty sure if there are drinks involved and you're trying to answer some questions and you lose a point, yeah, pretty much by the end of the night, you wouldn't even need any more cards. They're gonna do everything you need to do.
Exactly.
All right, I see you there. I see you. So let's go through the creation process. Like, how did this, how did this come to be? How did this start for you?
Yeah, so it's actually one of a couple of game ideas I had. Okay. During this past year, I just had some time to think of the kind of things that I wanted to create. I knew I wanted to make games. And as I was thinking, I was like, some of the more popular games that have come out have really been reimagined from like games we played just on the playground or amongst friends, just verbally, or just new versions of old things that we liked. So as I thought about it, I was thinking, well, a lot of times with friends, we always pose these scenarios like, hey, for $1 million, would you do this? For $1 million, would you do that? And I was like, well, how can I clean that up a bit from kind of some of those conversations and put it into a package that you could play with friends and sometimes family if your family is a little bit more imaginative.
Okay. So without giving away everything or whatever, what are some of the scenarios in some of your cards? Like, is it more social media based? Is it more political? Or is it more just on, truth or dare, or I double dare you, or like that aspect, please?
Yeah, so I ranked all the cards into different categories. So there are categories like family life, love life, animal things, food, gross, so it's kind of like depending on who you're playing with, certain cards might hit harder than others. There's a lot of pop culture references. I can think of one card is like, would you pop bottles with Kim Jong-un or something like that? Like random scenarios where I kind of took like something that might be fun and then put in a person that might be a little bit you might be shaky on, to see who
yeah.
would do some of these things. Yeah.
Okay, all right. Well, man, yeah, I don't know if I would pop bottles with Kim Jong-un. Like, I don't know. Like, that really depends. Yeah. Is there money involved in that? Like, if there's money involved, then yeah, we can. Yeah, sure.
See, one of the things that I put in the rules was to take out the ability for people to say, "Oh, I would do that for money."
So
now, yeah. So that I mean, there are certain cards where there's money on the card specifically.
Okay.
But in general, I wanted to get away from the for $10 billion I do that, because then people do a lot of things.
Yeah. Other than I don't think I'll be hanging out with him. He's pretty dangerous, So
exactly.
Like, I love my life, So yeah, I don't think I would. No, I don't want to pop bottles. So what has been some of the responses that you've gotten back from people? Like, what's some of the feedback you've gotten back?
Yeah, so just even playing it with friends during play testing, the games have went really long. That was probably the biggest surprise to me. I expected a lot more people to say never to things, but people get really, really creative, really competitive playing the game. So I think that's one of the biggest feedbacks that I've appreciated. Just the fact that take it to a group of people, some that I don't really know, and they're playing the game for hours and actually not wanting to play until the point limit, just wanting to keep playing.
Right. Okay. Right. Man, well, you know what? That's good, because as you said, from 2 to 20, if it's 2 people, as pretty much as you mentioned, that can be a get to know you sort of scenario. And I mean, if one of the questions is, would you pop bottles with Kim Jong-un, and the, conversation that comes up, you might want to look at your day a little bit different. So,
Yeah.
I agree. All right. So let me ask, with everything going on in the world now, I'm pretty sure this game is popular and, it's selling out. Do you have any plans to possibly go virtual and make it an app?
Yeah, I definitely have mobile plans in the future. Right now, my main focus is getting the physical copy in people's hands. I tend to prefer the physical games in general, but in the future, I definitely want to explore the mobile route when I have a little bit more capacity to expand into those different kind of areas.
Okay, all right. So if people want to get, a copy of the game, well, not a copy of the game, but if people want to get the game itself or, get in contact with you, how can people do so?
Yeah, I would say the best way to do so is to go to my website, www.smashedstudios.com. Okay. That's smashed with an ED at the end. And that's where you can order the game. But of course, you can follow us on social media at Smash Studios or at Never Say Never Game.
Okay, all right. Now, is this the only game you have out right now, or you're in the process of getting some more out at, pretty much at this time?
Yeah, this is the only game I have right now. Some of the other games that I have in mind require a little bit more community focus. Okay. So I think, as we start seeing a return back to normal life and I can set up tournaments and things like that, some of my more competitive type of games that I have in my head, that's when I'll start rolling those out.
Okay, all right. Well, man, look, you are on to something, sir. And I mean, definitely it's a conversation starter and it gets people social. And, I think that's something that's really missing definitely in games, period, these days, without being too taboo or what have you, because there's plenty of different card games, but everyone's not willing to go, all in some of the, in like certain games because of the questions or what have you. And just some of the stuff that I've seen, by you, man, it's pretty clear cut and, it's pretty funny. So why not entertain yourself, So, man, I wish you well with that. Man, we've come to the last of our interview, so I have to ask this question, the question that my show is known for. What is the one word that best describes you and why?
I would have to say the word would be dreamer.
Okay.
Yeah. So for me, I daydream a lot. I do a lot of visualizations. I see myself kind of being like the next Walt Disney, essentially. Like this for me, like this is like the start to a lot of other things that I want to do. Getting some of these creative ideas that are in my head into people's homes, and then just keeping the train going. I want to bring unique, new content to people, and just add to people's game nights, amongst other things that I want to do in the future. So yeah, this is kind of like my launching pad. That's the way I look at it.
All right, well, man, that's what's up. I like that, man. So if I can add a word, I would say visionary, because as you said, you're a dreamer. So you have to have a vision to put forth what you have now. And now, pretty much what you have is you're on to something. As I said before, you are getting people engaged. You're getting people social, whether it's 2 people, 10 people, 20 people, 100 people, you're getting people to talking. You're getting people to thinking. So, man, to have the vision to do so, and now you have what you have here. Visionary. So that's my word for you. All right, there you go.
Thank you.
No problem. All right, ladies and gentlemen, this has been Work with Ty Brownlow. I've been your host, Ty Brownlow. You can find me on all social media platforms. Word with Ty Brownlow on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram. You can also follow me on Twitter at Ty Brownlow TV, or just go to my website, tybrownlow.com. Get this wonderful interview plus other great interviews. Prince, thank you, sir.
Thank you.
All right, appreciate you.